Hey everyone, welcome back to the Velocity channel where this is your bridge to financial freedom. I was actually looking through my mail the other day and I found a credit card offer, right? It said spend $2,500 in your first 90 days and get $250 back. If you're going to get $2,500, right, and you're going to spend that $2,500, you might as well get paid to spend the $2,500, right? So I'm going to show you right now how to get this $250 and actually make it worth your while. Because within 90 days, how many of you can spend $2,500 in 90 days, right? Okay, but how would you like to actually get paid on top of you spending the $2,500? Plus, oh, by the way, you're going to get a $98 statement credit for a year at Walmart. Let's get into this. But before we do, like, share, and subscribe so that everyone around the world can know the power of Velocity Banking. Now listen, I want you to do this wisely now, okay? So let's go ahead and write it out. We're going to show you where to start from, okay? And then we're going to show you how to make sure that all of those purchases are within the 90 days so that you get that $250 back. And, oh, by the way, we're going to make sure that you know the terms and conditions are a very important part of the credit card. Okay, so make sure that you are reading that because the large print giveth, but the small print taketh away. So we're going to go ahead and start with the $2,500, okay? So this is all line of credit here. The credit card is, okay? $2,500, all right? That's how much you're going to need to spend within 90 days, it said. Remember? All right, so $2,500 within the 90 days. Now, you can divide this up however you want to. If you want to spend this $2,500 in the 30 days, within the 60 days, or the 90 days, it doesn't matter. What does matter is you remembering that time and balance are the most important things that we are going to be looking at as we make sure that that $250 and that statement credit comes to us instead of them. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. $5,000 comes in, right? That's your income. Let's just say you've got $3,000 in expenses. So let's go ahead and put that right here. Okay, what is that going to leave us? That's going to leave us $2,000 in cash flow. We're going to go ahead and represent that by a C. Now, if you were to spend the $2,500 in that first month, let's go ahead and share with you how you would be able to pay this off, right, without it incurring that much in interest. Now, remember what interest rates are. Interest rates are the cost of borrowing money, okay? So let's go ahead and place that $2,000 as the cash flow as the denominator. Okay, remember you're going to divide that by the $2,500 balance because you said, hey, let me go ahead and get this card. Let me spend the $2,500 on it. Okay, regardless of what your limit is, we are sticking with the $2,500 that you need to spend in order to get cash back. Now, keep in mind that this $2,500 is the $2,500 that you were going to spend anyway. That's what makes it so powerful. So you were already going to spend the $2,500. It's not like you were like, oh man, I need to spend $2,500 to make $250. That's not what you're doing. You're already going to spend the $2,500, all right? So now, instead of using this money, that debit card, and that credit card to spend the $2,500, what you're going to do is you're going to line up, right, the finances and say, well, wait a minute. What expenses this month can I use for this credit card so that I can get that $250. Okay. So now watch this. 2,500 divided by 2,000 is what? It's like one, right? Like one or two. So remember what we're doing here. What we're doing here and why we did this is so that you can know the velocity term. How long is it going to take you to pay off the $2,500? So let's just say, and things happen. It's Christmas, right? New Year's is around the corner. Let's just say it takes you 2 months to pay this off. Now, I know it's less than that, right? Because we have divided by the cash flow, which is $2,000. But let's just say it's 2 months, okay? And you're going to take 2 months to pay that off. Are you within the 90 days? Are you within the 90 days? And I know you got to spend the $2,500. You might as well go ahead and spend it before Christmas, right? And that's what a lot of you are doing. And that's okay. There's no judgment here, right? But instead of using another card, right? Instead of using this one and that one, let's use the cards that have those rewards on there so that you can be rewarded for investing, so that you can be rewarded for spending this money, or as I like to say, rewarded for circulating the money back into the economy. All right. So I'm just wanting to let you know that you can use that card in a different way. What if you didn't have the $2,000 in cash flow? Well, can you divide it by 500, right? Can you divide it by 1,000? Okay. What we're looking at is this. You're spending, I got to reiterate this. You're spending the $2,500 within the 90 days anyway. All right. So why not take advantage of some of these offers like this, right? Which not only gives you the $250, right, after you've spent the $2,500, but it's giving you a $98 statement credit. And we know why the credit unions and banks want to do this. It's to drum up business, okay? And that's okay. But as long as you know how to pay it, right, AKA the velocity banking way, you can come out on top each and every time. Now, what if you wanted to go ahead and divide it up by 2 months? What if you wanted to go ahead and divide it up by the full 90 days? And you said, well, I want to take the full advantage. You can do that. Just know that you're going to be spending some in interest. Now, what do I mean by spending when I'm talking about credit cards? Because it's not like you're going to just pay the minimum monthly payment. Remember, this $2,000, if the minimum monthly payment is like, let's say $200, that minimum monthly payment is already taken care of for that month, right? Yeah, because when you spend over the minimum monthly payment, what happens? No minimum monthly payment. So that $100 or $200 comes to you. You're in control of that. But when your balance goes down from 2,500 to, let's say, to 1,500, remember that average daily balance is going to continue to be calculated. Now, if you kept the $2,500 for, let's say, about the 3 months, I calculated it, and it's about $210 in interest. That's if you kept it at the 2,500. All right, $210. $250, you still came out with $40, and we know that you're going to be paying that down and not keeping it for the full 90 days, right? That balance of $2,500. So please, terms and conditions, make sure you read those. And yeah, because the big print, it gives, but the small print takes away. And I don't want you to be sidetracked or blindsided by any of what the marketers from these credit unions and banking institutions have to say. All right. So again, let me go ahead and get out of the way so you can take a picture of that. Remember, you got that 90 days or whatever the card says in the mail that you got, right? You've got maybe 60 days, maybe yours is 180 days, whatever it is. Keep that in mind. Keep this in mind as well. And remember that $2,500 in that time frame, that's the $2,500 you were going to spend anyway. So let's divert our expenses onto a card that is actually going to pay us. And don't worry about the 30%. the 20% or the 12%, whatever it is, right? Because we're going to be looking at the time and balance, and we're going to make that work for us. See, anytime you get caught up with the interest rates instead of the time and balance, you're going to be you're going to continue to think, man, you know, it's all about the interest rate. No. If you make it about the time and balance, you can lower your interest rate like we do with velocity banking, because we're looking at the balance and we're saying we need to get rid of that balance. We need to get rid of that principal so that we can get rid of that interest. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. We'll see you in the next video.